7 of them then for this Coral Ascot Hurdle, headed by Fire Dragon, won the rescheduled Cleve Hurdle at Sandown Park in February. Number 2 is Mighty Man, won the Liverpool Hurdle in the spring. Number 3 is No Refuge, who won this race 12 months ago when it was run at Windsor. As Rishi was telling you, number 4, Desert Quest, is out. Number 5 is Self Defence, who has run in 3 champion hurdles. He was 4th in 2003. Hardy Eustace has also run in 3 champion hurdles. Of course, he's won 2 of them. Number 7 is Lough Derg, who hasn't been out over hurdles since the April of 2005. And 8 is Yankee Doodle Dandy, as you can see, very much the outsider. Well, 2 miles, 3.5 furlongs is the trip for the race. They start right over on the far side of this triangular track. In total, they're going to jump 11, 2 down the side to begin with, then round the turn into the 2-mile start, flights 3 and 4, 3 running away down towards the far side, and then from the starting point back home, 4 more flights of hurdles they'll have to take.
Well, despite the defection of Desert Quest, this remains a fascinating race. Lots of very, very high-class hurdlers in it. And Hardy Eustace is the 11-8 favourite, although he has drifted from an opening show of 11-10. It's 7-4 Mighty Man. There's been a lot of support for this horse, who many people regarded as the best staying hurdler of last season, even though he finished placed behind My Way to Solson in the Ladbrokes World Stayers Hurdle at the festival. No Refuge is 8-1, 15-8 now Mighty Man, 8-1 No Refuge, 9-1 Fire Dragon, who did beat Mighty Man last season, 14-1 Self Defence, 20-1 Lough Derg, and Yankee Doodle Dandy is the outsider at 100-1. But Hardy Eustace is the horse that most people would have thought will start favourite, and certainly he is at the moment. He is a dual champion hurdle winner, won also the Sun Alliance Novices Hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival, so brings really high-class form into this race. However, he did lose his champion hurdle crown to Brave Inca at Cheltenham back in March. He's had a run on the flat this year. He had a run on the flat not recently, not long ago, 27 days ago, in fact, when he was 6th in the Iris Cesarewitch. He comes in the race. I must say, he looks fantastic here in the paddock going around this afternoon. He was beaten at the end of last season at Aintree and also at Punchestown. He's got to really pick up on that. But he's up against some horses who may be better further. This distance of 2 miles, 3.5 furlongs today may leave him vulnerable, though. The horse who's most likely to take advantage is Mighty Man. He was being held up in his early season races last year. He finished 3rd at the Cheltenham Festival behind My Way to Solson and Golden Cross. But then he switched to more prominent riding tactics. Richard Johnson decided that he was going to ride him a bit more prominently at Aintree, and he overturned the form of My Way to Solson there. If he's ridden in a similarly aggressive manner, I think he could be the one to lower Hardy Eustace's colours this afternoon. He was available at a bigger price earlier today, but he's been well supported to beat Hardy Eustace this afternoon. Fire Dragon, in fact, did beat Mighty Man last season at Sandown. He brings some decent form into the race. Now, the one doubt about Fire Dragon, as some people could also say the one doubt about Mighty Man as well, is the ground. Both horses would appreciate a little bit quicker ground. The jockeys were all describing the ground as on the soft side, though it's slightly quicker in the home straight. And Fire Dragon's best form has come on quicker ground. And strictly at the weights, he has a little bit to find with Mighty Man. They race off level weights, though Mighty Man is indeed a higher rated individual. Number 3, No Refuge, actually won this race last year when it was run at Windsor. He represents Andrew and Graham Wiley, trained by Howard Johnson. Timmy Murphy comes in for the ride aboard No Refuge today. It was slightly disappointing behind Redemption and My Way to Solson up at Wetherby on his return in the John Smith's Hurdle. He has a little bit to find on that form. Certainly, if he can reproduce what he showed last year in this race when it was run at Windsor, and fulfill some of the potential that he showed in his early days of the hurdles, then he would be a serious danger to Mighty Man and Hardy Eustace. But I do think that if Mighty Man and Hardy Eustace run up to their best, they will dominate the race. Self Defence is also another interesting runner from the Emma Lavelle stable who comes into this race. The team in really good form, Emma Lavelle. Here's how they bet. The latest betting has Hardy Eustace 11-8. Mighty Man just easing a little bit after 7-4. 8-1 bar those. Here's Barty.
So they race away then for this Coral Ascot Hurdle. Little under 2.5 miles in front of them. Lough Derg leads them down to the first of the 11 flights. Leads by about 3 lengths over Hardy Eustace, who took it in 2nd place. No Refuge is quite a long way behind the others in the early part of the race. Down on towards number 2, Lough Derg over it safely. Hardy Eustace and Mighty Man together in second and third places. Fire Dragon then, and the outsider Yankee Doodle Dandy together. The orange jacket of Self-Defense just about a length behind those. And there'd be a good 5 or 6 lengths to No Refuge, who continues to be last of all as they head round the home turn for the first time. Lough Derg leads them up now by about 2 lengths. Hardy Eustace in second position, the pale blue jacket, yellow hoop, white sleeves. Darker jacket of Mighty Man to his inside now, then Yankee Doodle Dandy and Fire Dragon and Self-Defense and No Refuge inside the last 2 miles as they get over flight number 3. Quickly down to the 4th. Hardy Eustace, Conroe Drive, bringing him right under the stand side rails, possibly in search of slightly better ground for him, as Lough Derg is just the leader as they get over flight number 4. Only just the leader, though, Hardy Eustace on the outside. Desi Hughes bought him for £12,500. This is before he began his racing career. If he was to lead him home today, he will take his earnings to well over £750,000. Of course, those include 3 victories at the Cheltenham Festival, the Sun Alliance Novices Hurdle, and then 2 champion hurdles, a race he was 3rd in this year. So away towards the far side, about 1.5 miles to go from here. Lough Derg leading to Hardy Eustace, then Fire Dragon, who's edged his way through into 3rd position. Mighty Man is in 4th, then Self-Defense. Behind Self-Defense is Yankee Doodle Dandy, and No Refuge continues to be last. Timmy Murphy taking him very wide as they head down the back straights. 3 flights of hurdles to take here, and they've all taken the first of them safely. With Lough Derg back over hurdles after season steeplechasing. Led there to Hardy Eustace in 2nd place, Mighty Man in 3rd. He's a little wide on the track as well. Then Fire Dragon, then Self-Defense, Yankee Doodle Dandy and No Refuge. And these are quite well strung out now as they head down towards the last one over the far side, which will be 5 from the finish, and Lough Derg continues out in front. Hardy Eustace took it in 2nd place, Mighty Man in the dark blue jacket in 3rd, then Fire Dragon. Behind Fire Dragon is Self-Defense and Yankee Doodle Dandy, who's been struggling for a little while now as they've got 4 to jump. And they're about 1 mile from home, No Refuge right towards the back of the field. So it continues to be Lough Derg who leads them as they begin the run uphill down the side of the track. Hardy Eustace, former champion hurdler. This race has been won by champion hurdlers such as Beulah, Dawn Run, Lanzarote, Gaybrief and Morley Street in the past. He's just in 2nd place, Hardy Eustace, over Mighty Man in 3rd, and they're now clear from Fire Dragon and Self-Defense together. This is 4 from the finish. Lough Derg a bit close to it. Mighty Man just about in 2nd place. Between him is Hardy Eustace. They're clear from Fire Dragon and Self-Defense. Yankee Doodle Dandy and No Refuge has never really been going. Continues to be tailed off as they take the 3rd last. And Hardy Eustace now has just taken the lead. Goes on to Mighty Man, the long-time leader. Lough Derg under strong driving in 3rd position, but he's plugging on. Fire Dragon is in 4th, but he's about 20 lengths off the leader, and then comes Self-Defense. Quite a long way from home here. Still coming towards the home turn as they head down towards the last 3 furlongs. And as they begin this run onto the turn, Hardy Eustace leads by a little over a length, and he's travelling strongly. Mighty Man in 2nd place, but being repressed for 2nd position by Lough Derg. Both riders hard at work on those 2. Fire Dragon just coming into the straight in 4th. Then Self-Defense, then No Refuge has now begun to run on a little bit as they head down towards 2 out. Hardy Eustace over it by 2 lengths. Mighty Man in 2nd position. Lough Derg leg weary in 3rd. No Refuge is about to move into 4th position, but Hardy Eustace is hard held as he heads down towards the final flight of hurdles. He's now 6 or 7 lengths clear from Mighty Man, who'll take it in 2nd place. Lough Derg is just coming to it now in 3rd, and then No Refuge will take it in 4th, but Hardy Eustace has come home very strongly and well held here by Conroe Dwyer. Hardy Eustace goes on to win. He gets an immediate 16-1 quote from the sponsors, Coral, for this afternoon's race for the champion hurdle. That's from 25-1. Mighty Man in 2nd position. Lough Derg ran home in 3rd. No Refuge closest at all at the line. He was home in 4th place. Then Self-Defense. Behind him is Fire Dragon, and tailed off and still with 100 yards to go. Last home will be Yankee Doodle Dandy.
The 2 top-class horses dominated this race, and in the end, The former champion hurdler, Hardy Eustace, has showed his class and his speed, and that's won in the day today. Although Mighty Man tried to make a race of it, he didn't quite have the gears that Hardy Eustace did, and Conor O'Dwyer was always travelling well on this horse. Although he's the age of 9, he's come back looking as good as ever. That run on the flat has brought him on fitness-wise, and Conor O'Dwyer was able to take a leisurely look up the home straight. Saw Mighty Man and Richard Johnson, although he was ridden fairly aggressively, he just didn't quite have the speed to match Hardy Eustace. Connections, of course, will be hoping that Hardy Eustace will go back to Cheltenham at the festival next March and try and recapture the crown, taking on horses like Brave Inca, who we're going to see tomorrow. And then, of course, he'll be having runs in between. And Hardy Eustace is 11-1 with William Hill for the 2007 champion hurdle. Ladbrokes actually making 14-1 Hardy Eustace.